Hey guys, in the last video we created this part where we are fetching posts from Reddit and then storing it in the database. In this video we are going to pull one of the posts from the database and then send it to Telegram group. For this we are going to need a couple of things. One of those things is going to be a Telegram group. So I just went ahead and created a Telegram group. So this is the Telegram group that I created. It is simply called test group and it has only one member. So yeah, so this is the Telegram group that I created, and then I'm going to need one more thing that is needed for this, which is a Telegram bot. Let me just expand this, and if you search for bot father, so you're going to create a new bot, and for that you might not have any conversation with this bot if you're doing it for the first time. So you can type help. The bot will respond with all of the options that are available. So in my case I need to create a new bot, so I'll just do new bot, and then it is saying please choose a name for your bot. So I'll just do test Instagram bot. Now let's choose a username for your bot. So I'll again choose test Instagram bot. Okay, so it seems like this username is already taken, so I'll just randomly do test 123 Instagram bot. Okay, so now that this is done, it has given me this this message, and it contains this token to access the HTTP API. So you are going to need this token. So I'll just copy this and store it somewhere. And this is a token that you do not want anyone else to see. So make sure that you're not sharing it with someone else. So we'll just go to the API documentation for Telegram. We'll just move to authorizing your bot. So here you can see all of the messages that are available and everything that can be done with a Telegram bot. But in our case, what we want is we want to send messages using this bot. How can we send messages? Let's see. Okay, so here's the send message and it says use this method to send text messages. Okay, we need this. So for this we need chat ID and then text. So text, we know what we have. Text would be the message we want to send to the group, but I'm not sure what the chat ID is. So it says unique identifier for the chat target or username. Okay. Okay, so I got to know about this get updates endpoint, which is here. Where did it go? Get updates. So what it does is it will get updates from the groups in which the bot is added. So currently it is giving me an empty result because the bot is not added in any of the groups. So we are going to add it into one of the groups. So let's do that. I'll just open the bot and I want to add it to a group, which is this test group. Okay, now for the bot to get the values as a result, I am going to address the bot using @ and send it something like hi. And now if I go to this URL, api.telegram/the bot token and get updates, and if I reload, so this is the data that I receive when I hit this endpoint. And in here I can see the chat ID that I wanted. So I'm just going to copy this chat ID and save it somewhere. So I'll just save it along with our bot token, and I can close this. Now the next step is to create the scheduler. We need to create this part. Let me show you in the diagram. So we need to create this part, which is going to run every 5 minutes, and then it is going to post into the Telegram group. So let's create that. But first I'm going to save these two values because these are secrets that you do not want anyone else to see. I mean, this bot token you definitely do not want anyone to see, and this group chat ID is also something kind of private, so I would like to keep them in a separate file. So I'll just create an environment variable .env, and then I'll say bot token is equal to this token, and group chat ID is this ID. Cool. Now that those values are saved, I will close this one. And for pulling the values from environment variables or .env file into my application, I will use something called a .env. It's an npm module, so let me show you. So it's an npm module which loads variables from a .env file. So we'll simply do npm install .env. Let me just write it. So npm install .env. Okay, now that that is installed, we can use something like this, and it will require the configuration. So I'm going to go here inside bin. At the top, I'm going to use it and add a semicolon. Let's just try to add a port number here as well. 1234. Let's try to run the application on 1234. And if you see here, we are using the port number here. So in here, we are going to fetch it from the environment variable. This comes by default by express generator. And if a port number is not specified, it will take 3000. So in our case, we never specified anything, so it was taking 3000. But let's see now. And if I go to this page, this should not work. But if I go to 1234, this should work. And this is not working because I deleted the users route, but this is still working. So as you can see, users is not available, but the other route is available. So I'm going to close this out, and our .env configuration is working. So let's just move on to our scheduler. Let me just rename this as const reddit scheduler, and this will just contain this function's code. And I'll close this. And next what we need is we need the Telegram scheduler. So we are going to need something which is going to pull posts from database and send it to Telegram group. So I'll just name it send to Telegram group scheduler. Now this is going to be somewhat similar to this. So I'll just paste that code from above, and then going to send post to, actually it is going to send only one post to Telegram group. Okay, and instead of get post from Reddit, it is going to do post to Telegram group. We are going to make this function up here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to fetch from this database, and we need to fetch the post with highest score. So as you can see, this is the post which has highest score. And one more thing that I want to do is I want to add a flag which is known as is sent or not. So we want to keep track of whether this post is sent to the group or not. So let's go to Reddit service, and in here where we're inserting the post, we are going to add one more parameter and name it as is sent, and always set it to false whenever we are inserting this. Okay, now that that is done, I'm going to clear out this database one more time, and let's go to our scheduler service. So in here we want to pull the data. So go to I think we can use this function. So let's just copy this and go to database service, I'll expose one more function from here. And we will refactor some of these functions. If we see that the code is duplicated a lot, then we'll refactor this for sure. So let's return a promise. Is there a find one function? Find one, yeah, there it is. So we'll simply use find one. Okay, now that we have exported this, we should import it in here. So const this function and then require it database service. Okay, great. Now we are going to find one of the posts and then we need to get the doc, or we need the post. We'll just log the post for now. And we'll catch the error. Okay, now let's try to test this. So I'm going to directly run this function, but first we need to populate the database because I deleted the database. So for that, I'm going to run this function, Reddit scheduler. And I am going to set the interval as 1 minute or 10 seconds. Let's keep it as 10 seconds. Let's run this. So node services. Okay, so the post is added. Great. All the posts are here. And now what I want to do is I want to run this function. So I'll comment this one for now because we don't need it right now. And I'll run this function. I'll run the same file. And it gives me one of the posts. But it doesn't seem like this is the post with highest number of upvotes. Let's copy this and go to the database. Yeah, this is not the post with highest number of upvotes. Seems like this one has the lowest number of upvotes. Okay, this has to be -1 or 1. So let's see. If we go to sort, yeah, it should be -1 if we want it in reverse order. And one more thing I also want is that I want this is sent to be false, because we only want the post which has not been sent. So let's go to scheduler service, clear this out, run this one more time, and yeah, we are getting the topmost post. So this post has the highest number of upvotes if we see, and yeah, that is correct. So now that we have the post here, we want to send to Telegram group and then mark it as sent. So these are the two things that we need to do. So how do we mark it as sent? We just make the is sent to true. So let's make a Telegram service. And the purpose of this Telegram service is to interact with the Telegram API. So first thing we need to do is we need to import Axios. Okay, and we need the base URL. So where is the bot URL? Okay, no problem. We'll go here and this is the base URL. Method name, so just before the method name we are going to copy this and paste it here. And instead of token we need our own token, so bot token, we are going to get it from process.env, come on, dot bot underscore token, and this bot token we have set in this file. Here's the bot token. Okay, and along with this we also want the group chat ID, so group chat ID, and we just need to get this bot token. So I'm just going to replace this with template string. I'm going to place this bot token here, and this seems fine. Now the next step for us is to make a function which will send a message to the Telegram group. So I'll just make a function send message. It will take only one parameter, message. And okay, so how do we send a message to a Telegram group? So we have the method. So if you go to available methods, there's this send message method, and it takes a chat ID and then text. So the text is this message and the chat ID would be this group chat ID. So we need to make a get request, so access.get, and then I'll just use template strings again, Telegram base URL slash method name is send message, which is given here, send message. Just make sure that this is correct. Okay, that is correct. And I want to send some parameters as well. So I want to send chat ID and text. So both of these can be sent as a parameter. So chat underscore ID is equal to group chat ID, and my and text is equal to, and I can simply return this because this access library, it returns a promise. So if I copy this and module.exports send message, I'll copy this and send the post as the message. Actually I want to send only the link, and I also need to import this. So this will be from Telegram service. Great. Now that that is done, let's test this whether this sends the message or not. So we got an error which says 404. So why did we get a 404? This means 404 means basically the URL is not available. So let's just check the URL. Where is the Telegram service? Okay, api.telegram.org. Let's copy this URL const this URL, and let's log this URL. This is something is coming as undefined, which is I think our bot token. So we are not getting our bot token, and I think I know why. Because we imported our .env configuration in the bin www file, but this file is never getting called. So we need to include that in here as well, at least for now, since we are directly running this file. So if I run this now, this works. And let me show you my Telegram app. So as you can see, I got a message from my Telegram bot. So yeah, that really worked. Let me just put it side by side so that you can see. Uh, okay, I think this should be good enough. And I will do this one more time. So as you can see, this is now coming. So the next step is to, let's go to the scheduler service. I'll just close this left window so that we have some more space. And the next step is to mark it as sent. So we need to make a update function in here, const update. This is going to take a query as a parameter for the document to update, and then the updated document, and then this is going to return a promise as well. So I'll just copy this function from here, and we need to update this function. So let's see in the documentation what is the correct function for updating that document. So if I search for updating documents, yeah, so we need a query, we have the update. Let's see. Okay, so we need this set an existing fields value, or what we can do is we can directly replace the whole document. I think this would be much easier, so we'll just copy this and paste it here. Replace the document by another, and it will be the caller's responsibility to send us an updated document. Why did it screw the formatting, man? So instead of planet, the query is for ID. So I would want to pass, or I would want to pass the link, because we are dealing with links, and this would be the query. Or I think let's leave it up to the caller, whatever query they want to use. They can use any query, and then this would be the updated doc. And if there are updates, so if if there are any errors, I would want to reject with the error. Otherwise I want to or if number of replaced is greater than 0, then only I want to resolve. Otherwise I want to reject with some message that is no docs updated. Yeah, this seems fine. And let's go to Telegram service, actually scheduler service, and we need to update. So let's just import that function, but I haven't exported it. So I need to export this update function from here. Now let's import it. So I go here, update, and I need this update function in here, and query. So I want to query for this link, which would be a post link. Okay, and updated document. So for updated document, what I need is, I want the link to be as it is, but I want to make the score as -1, and also is sent to be true. So once we have sent a post to Telegram, we don't want it to be sent again. So we are just going to make it score the lowest possible, and we are going to mark it as sent, and then mark as sent, and we'll catch the error as well. Let's test this. We are sending the post to Telegram, and then we are marking it as sent. So not sure if you were able to see this, but I got a new message. And if I do this, I'm getting a different message. Let's do this one more time. And I'm getting a different message now. So yeah, this is working as expected. And yeah, so finally we are able to pull one of the posts from database and then send it to Telegram group. Now, one more thing that is remaining is we need to post this Telegram group every whatever interval that we want. So we have this scheduler, and but we are not sure what interval. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the interval from here as an argument, and then use that interval in the set interval second parameter. And the same thing I'm going to do with this Reddit scraper as well. So I'll just pass the interval, and when we are calling it, we can pass the interval as whatever we want to. So this seems like this should work. I'll remove this interval from here. So I think we have covered this entire part. So now we have created a Telegram service, and it interacts with Telegram API to send messages to this Telegram group. So in the next video, what we are going to do is we are going to create the web server. So far we are not using this web server, but in the next video, we are going to create a web server with an endpoint slash webhook to which this Telegram bot will connect to, or the Telegram API will connect to. So all of the updates that we are getting in the group, we will get into this endpoint. We are also going to use that webhook to process the images that we are getting. So as soon as you reply to one of the messages, so let's say you want to post this, and I hit reply, and I'll say send this to Instagram. So nothing is going to happen because no one is listening to this message. But when we create this webhook, we will get this message to our web server, this exact message that I just sent, and it's up to us how we interpret that message. So it is going to be a lot of fun, and we are going to learn a lot of things. So this is all for this video, and if you haven't already subscribed, I would highly recommend that you subscribe. And also all the code for this is going to be available in the GitHub repository. I'll leave a link below. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next one.